Good morning, Mesa Nation. I am Senora Nguyen, a Spanish teacher at Costa Mesa High School, and I will be your host for today's episode. So just a little bit about myself. I am a Spanish teacher here on campus, and I've been teaching here for 7 years. I love what I do. I love the students here, and I'm all about this podcast. As you know, we are in the month of November, and time is flying, whizzing by. Typically, November is a month where we, as Mesa Nation, come together to spread the love and reflect on what we are grateful for. Yes, even in this crazy time. Today, I will be talking to a few of our students about what we're thankful for this fall season and the different ways that we try to spread positivity during times like this. So welcome 10th grader Kyra, Kirsch, 9th grader Arabella, Rojas, and 11th grader Ryan Yude. Thanks for joining us today. So I wanted to ask you guys a few questions today. Hope that's okay. The first question is for Kyra, and I was wondering, what have you learned to be thankful for this year? What are some things that you were thankful for?
Well, I've definitely taken more into consideration my health. For 4 years, I've always been thankful for good health, but just this year, my family's health, my friends' health is just such a different thing I look at now. And I'm really thankful that everyone's still happy and that even though we can't spend a lot of time together with different people and different family members, I'm still really thankful for that.
I think that's a really great point. We really we're going down to the basic things now, and we're really just realizing what's most important. And I think health is like a number one priority for a lot of people. So Arabella, thanks for joining us. Are there things that you might have taken for granted during the pandemic that you appreciate much more now?
Hi. Maybe, but I might have not realized it before. But yeah, just maybe. I don't know for sure right now if I have, but yeah.
That's great. Are there like some activities, or do you feel like there's some like basic necessities that you feel like you before took for granted but now appreciate? Like, for example, for me, I definitely just appreciate TV shows, like being able to watch and stream Netflix or Disney Plus, anything like that. All right, I'll just go ahead and continue to the next question. I think we have a little bit of technical difficulty. But Ryan, my question to you is, what sort of activities or hobbies have you picked up during the quarantine or during the pandemic?
Well, for me, over this quarantine, I've been specifically hanging out with my family a lot. And that has led me to realize that I love playing disc golf, and I'm not bad. I go to the Huntington Beach disc golf course a few times whenever I go, and it's a lot of fun. My dad and brothers play it with me as well.
That's really awesome that you found an activity to do with your family during this time. Can you explain a little bit of what disc golf is for those of us that don't know?
All right, so essentially, disc golf combines the sport of golf and the sport of frisbee, if you will. So you throw a frisbee from a certain spot at a target. Wherever your frisbee lands, you pick it up and throw it again from that spot until you make it into the basket. It's
That's
a lot of
awesome.
fun.
Yeah, it sounds really cool. How many times a month or a week do you go disc golfing with your family?
Recently, we haven't gone at all, but in the early months of the quarantine and summer, we'd go like once or twice a month.
That's really awesome. Thank you so much for sharing about disc golfing. We have another student who has joined us who would like to answer some questions about things that we're doing during the pandemic, or activities that we're doing to cope. So I have with me here Senior Kamea Binquist, and she's going to answer the question, what are some things that you might have taken for granted during the pandemic that you appreciate more now?
One thing that I definitely took for granted before the pandemic was going to the beach, and now during the summer I was able to just go to the beach as many times as I could. It really fulfilled the emptiness that I had from not being able to go to school and seeing my friends. So that was really cool. And then something that I appreciate more now is me and my family have been going camping and off-roading and like motorcycle riding. So every probably like twice a month we pack up all of our fun toys and we go out to the desert and we get to just play around in the desert and have community with our family and our friends.
That's really awesome, Kamea. And I love how each of these activities is so, it involves a lot of active movement, but also it's very responsible because you're outside, you're enjoying like nature and doing things with family. That's really awesome. Thank you so much for your response. So we're going to go ahead and move on. Kyra, have you been trying to stay optimistic during this pandemic? And how are I'll just let you answer that question first. Are you trying to stay optimistic? What ways are you trying to stay positive during this time?
Well, even though I have been trying really hard, sometimes there are those days that you wake up and you're like, wow, I'm stuck at home. I don't have any of my friends, or it's just a really interesting year. And I always try to look on the bright side of things in everything. And this year it's been really hard, but I feel like as long as we keep appreciating each other and ourselves, that it'll just try to make the year feel better.
Those are some wise words, Kyra. I really appreciate what you said, and I think that resonates with a lot of us. So thank you so much for sharing that point. And lastly, how have your friends and your family been doing, Kyra?
It's definitely weird for my family. My dad owns a small physical therapy business, and my mom's a second grade teacher. So she's been going back and she has to deal with all the stuff that you guys are dealing with, all the students wearing masks. And my dad has to figure out how to still help people, but with all the guidelines. And it's crazy, but we're finding little ways around it. And I think that's what counts at the end of the day.
Again, really awesome, really wise words, Kyra. I do definitely think it's important for all of us to really look at what we have and be grateful for, the little things in life, whether it's spending quality time with our family or just, doing things to, improve our state of mind. I think those are all great things. So I have a question for all three of you, actually. How have you been taking care of yourself and your mental health? Have you been reading, listening to music, maybe even meditation? And what suggestions do you have for our listeners?
For me, I've been listening to music a lot. And so my family and I recently have been taking a good amount of long drives, either just to go to like shop or get basic necessities for us, or just because we want to listen to the radio. And me specifically, I like Christian music. I'm a big Christian. I mean, my brothers, though, they like to listen to Kiss FM and My FM. And in fact, I think my brother is right now playing My FM on his alarm clock radio. But I've been reading a lot. I've been listening to music a bunch. And I just say, listen to the music that you love. And if you don't know what music you love, just listen to all sorts of music, and you'll find the one you love.
That's definitely some great advice. I think music does have a large impact on our mental state. So I think if you're listening to upbeat, positive music, stuff that makes you feel good, I think that heavily influences your state of mind and your mental health. So thank you so much, Ryan. Kyra, Arabella?
No, I'm with Ryan. Just keep listening to music, and good music always brings out good, fun vibes that you can just go along with.
Arabella?
Yeah, I agree with like Ryan said, and agree with Kyra too.
That's great. I definitely am for listening to all sorts of music, and I especially like to work out in the morning. So now I start my day by getting up about 4 a.m. and doing my workouts at 5. And that's something that I am in control of and I really appreciate. And it really sets the mood for my day. So definitely getting active, whether that's doing jump rope or just doing jumping jacks in your house, or doing yoga, doing anything to sort of create movement and to better your mood. I think that's great. All right, awesome. Thanks so much, Kyra, Kirsch, Ryan Yaud, I apologize, that is the correct pronunciation of your name, and Arabella Rojas. In our next segment, it is my pleasure to introduce our student life commissioners for the 2020-2021 school year. Joining us now are Kylie Tank, Camila Binquist, Emiko Grun, and Addie Jwolfs. Ladies, why don't you tell Mesa Nation what to expect this week with Spread the Love?
Hi, so Spread the Love is a school-wide campaign that has become one of the most anticipated events of the year. It's a week of positive activities that accumulates in finding your color-coded bi-class heart in the quad. What does that mean in 2020?
That means that in the weeks leading to this day, members of ASB write each student's name on a paper heart. CMHS has a student population of about 1,800 students, so writing each individual's name takes time. This idea of spreading the love started 5 years ago with a senior who is now a Mesa alum. She wanted the students at this school to feel valued, to feel important, and to feel loved. She and our class at the time decided that nothing felt more special than walking out from your class and seeing your name handwritten in the quad.
It was a hit 5 years ago and not lost its meaning, its intensity, or its love. This year, each the heart and a friendship bracelet will be mailed home. That's right, Mesa Nation. ASB wants to make sure you still feel the love.
Awesome. Thanks, ladies. Can you tell us what some of the other activities for the week will be?
So like we said, your heart and your bracelet will be mailed home. And on Friday, you can take a picture on Instagram story and tag ASB with your heart and your bracelet. Tuesday, we're going to have a game night with Kahoot. Wednesday, we call it Wonderful Words Wednesday, and you can take a picture or send a nice note to one of your friends. And Thursday, you can wear a class color, which is either pink, red, blue, or purple.
Awesome. Well, Mesa Nation, I hope this episode has given you better insight on how all of us have been trying to be optimistic during this crazy year. Be on the lookout for a new episode of MANIAC Mondays with a new host and guests. Thank you so much, Mesa Nation.